Hello, my name is Stephanie Jackson. The topic that I chose is assessments, and the article I have is called Layered and Strategic Assessments by Susan McClister, and it was published October 2016. High-performing organizations are characterized by committed, energetic people who sit down together, examine problems confronting their organization, and figure out ways to overcome these problems by Ubin. That's a quote that kind of came to me after reading this article. Objective. Students will be able to highlight best practices for ensuring that assessments guide instructional practices and honor student learning in the process. How is this going to be done? Throughout the article, you'll see that it can be done through integrating different layers of assessment into school cultures, clearing up misconceptions in a number of ways, and communicating clearly with stakeholders. You'll see various check-ins just to check for understanding. Let's get started. Susan McClister, the author, interviewed and got data from 3 different principles. So I will be referencing these principles strategies for ensuring these best practices for students to be successful on these assessments. We have Lisa Johnson from Georgia, Gina O'Hare from North Carolina, and the middle school principal, Danielle Moore from Maryland. This is the article, and this is the website at the bottom where I got it. So if you want to read the article, just type in the title on this website and it'll pop up. I divided this article into 3 different areas, the first being multiple measures, being multiple layers. Multiple measures of assessment require multiple layers of assessment to be successful. What does that mean? We can't give our kiddos assessment after assessment after assessment without giving them that just as many strategies, just as many opportunities to learn, just as many systems to ensure their success. So between these 3 principles, they have a number of amazing strategies that they're implementing in their schools currently to meet this objective. So I just highlighted 6 in this area. Cognitive abilities test. Beginning of the school year, all district students are given a cognitive abilities test intended to be a predictor of how they will score on the statewide test. So students look at this data and use it to differentiate their instruction and meet students where they are. Vocabulary and assessment literacy. One of the principals, Johnson, quotes, "We often find that the students knew the material but weren't familiar with the exact words used in the test problems." So there's a school-wide year-long program to ensure that students are being taught the vocabulary and assess the vocabulary that is going to be seen on assessment. So when it comes to taking the assessment, they're familiar with what's being asked. Reading level test every 9 weeks. This happens for all students with instructional coaches on hand to help teachers with strategies and different activities for those who aren't making that progress that they want to see. So this doesn't just happen with struggling readers, but it happens with our advanced readers as well. They're giving interventions both individually and in small groups to make sure that their instruction is being differentiated. So I'm glad that it is happening not just for struggling students, but for our advanced readers as well. Strong teacher teams work together to develop common grade level and subject assessment. So this is something that I do. It's not stated in the article as PLC, but in my school we call it PLC. So that's called Professional Learning Community. So can't go wrong with collaborating and talking with your peers and colleagues about what they're doing, what's working, and that's what's not working. So individual teachers are superheroes. So they definitely play a role in student success as well. just individually. So at one school, teachers are crafting end of unit assessments and they're making sure that they incorporate the cross curricular skills of writing and grammar along with subject area content. And they also are meeting regularly with students to check on them and check their progress and make themselves available if they need it. Knowledge retention tests. So students have the ability to respond to comprehension questions as in the middle of a lesson. So teachers don't have to wait for 2 weeks after the lesson or 3 weeks after the lesson at the end of the unit to see if students are getting it. They can literally know in the moment, in the middle of the lesson. Students can use their phone and use a clicker on there and respond to these questions. So as soon as the lesson is over, teachers will know if they got it or not. And if they see that they don't have it in the middle of the lesson, they can stop, change it up, make sure they're meeting students where they are and they're not wasting their time. Quick check-in. Name one strategy of the 6 that we just talked about. What do you like about the strategy? So go ahead and take a minute, think about that. Feel free to pause this presentation. Parent buy-in. 6 in 10 parents said their children's teacher rarely or never discussed assessment results with them. So to ensure that this isn't happening, these are a few of the things that these 3 principals are implementing right now in their schools. There are regular parent-teacher conferences for all students, including meetings via phone for parents who can't get time off work, extremely considerate. And all parents also receive copies of every single one of their child's assessment results, including the state ones. How awesome is that? Parents can go home, work with their child on what they're getting wrong. That definitely helps the teacher. This icon here truly is an example of this. Parent, student, teacher, all connected. After school training. This is a great program. It's a 6-week Common Core math program. And it's designed to help adults understand new ways of instruction so they can better help their children with homework. Technology. Parents, this technology at the school is used to help parents be up to speed on what's being taught and tested in class. So school and classroom websites are there, and on them there's links to different videos, information, and a whole bunch of resources that can help the parents learn. So another way to enable the parents to help you help them, help their students. It truly takes a village. So being able to connect with parents in this way and give them the resources to help their students is is great, and it's something that's working at this school. Quick check-in. Name one of the strategies discussed that can help with parent buy-in. We just talked about a few. It's all about planning and strategy, says one of the principals. This couldn't be more true. Students have to understand what's on the assessment to be successful. Not only students have to understand, but the teachers, the ones who are teaching our students, need to understand the strategies, need to understand systems to help ensure that students are going to be successful. Here are a few examples of what these principals are doing at their school to ensure the student success. Say national standards are a priority, as they should be. They're talking about it. The standards are on the wall. Parents are talking about them, teachers are, and so are students. They understand what state standards are, and they're understanding them and they're talking about them, which is huge. Reteaching. Teachers don't start a new lesson until students understand what has been taught before. Exit tickets to ensure that parents to check for understanding. Testing soft skills. Communication, collaboration, sharing, respect, and other qualities that help students become college and career ready. School assessments mirroring state assessments. more states, when it comes to taking the state assessments, I don't want there to be any surprises. Our school assessments mirror the state assessments. Special Saturday interventions. This allows both students and teachers to come to a concept refreshed and ready to work. This happens from 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock, and parents are just required to drop and pick their kid up for interventions. Last check-in, which assessment for checking for student understanding resonates the most with you and why? Thank you so much for listening. Any feedback you have would be helpful for me. Moving forward, feel free to comment on eLearning or send me a quick email. And here are my references. Thanks.